Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. We're here to help you navigate the often turbulent world of finance. And today we're zeroing in on a question many investors are wrestling with. Is Roblox a good time to buy now? We've sifted through, quite a few sources, Invest, The Motley Fool, to really unpack what's driving the conversation around Roblox. We're going to explore everything from, some alarming regulatory concerns to their financial health and shifts in market sentiment. Before we jump into all that analysis, if you find our discussions helpful, please take a moment to subscribe, maybe hit that like button, and leave us a comment. Your support truly means the world. And hey, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, just let us know below. You could also consider buying us a coffee. Every bit helps us keep bringing you these insights. Okay, so let's unpack this. Roblox, it's this massive digital playground, hosts millions, incredible reach. You have a unique position, right? But our sources reveal it's facing a growing storm of challenges. From an investment perspective, what's the core dilemma presenting itself here?
Yeah, it's really fascinating, actually. You see this undeniable growth potential just directly colliding with escalating regulatory risk, reputational risks, too. And this isn't just theory, It's having real immediate impacts. It's amplifying volatility and, frankly, raising some pretty serious questions about long-term shareholder value.
Right. The headlines alone are certainly grabbing attention. Our sources paint a stark picture. Serious legal and reputational issues for Roblox. Can you walk us through the immediate concerns, especially the recent news?
Absolutely. So the legal challenges have really intensified in 2025. A prime example, the Louisiana Attorney General's lawsuit, filed August 15th. They're basically accusing Roblox of prioritizing growth over child safety, citing things like lax age verification and, the spread of harmful user-generated content. They even mentioned a specific title, Escape to Epstein Island.
Wow, that's a pretty shocking accusation and definitely a major red flag for anyone looking at the stock.
Yep.
What was the market's immediate reaction to that specific news?
Well, on August 15th, right after that announcement, the shares just plummeted, down 7%, but initially it was over 10%. That really reflects a significant investor anxiety. And honestly, it's not an isolated incident. California has over 300 cases of alleged child exploitation linked to the platform. And internationally, Roblox faces outright bans: Qatar, Turkey, Iran, China, Jordan, Oman. This just compounds the reputational damage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It frames the company as a global risk to minors in the eyes of, many regulators and parents.
Okay, so these are significant non-financial risks, but how do they translate into market volatility? How does it actually impact the stock's performance for investors watching the charts?
Yeah, that's the crucial question for investors, right? And the options market. It really tells the story of this fear. Put options are showing, get this, 67% implied volatility, which is just a fancy way of saying traders are expecting huge, sharp price swings, really bracing for impact. And technically, the stock's been hugging its lower Bollinger Band. That can sometimes mean it's oversold. But historically, Roblox has shown mixed reactions from this point. Sometimes it dips further, sometimes it bounces. It's a very dynamic, very uncertain moment.
It sounds like a challenging environment, maybe not for the faint of heart in the short term. But you mentioned earlier, beyond these immediate headlines and market reactions, our sources point to deeper, more structural issues. What's the bigger picture here, particularly concerning governance?
Exactly. If we connect these dots, we find these underlying structural problems. Specifically, corporate governance weaknesses. These are often those, silent risks that can erode value over time without making big headlines initially.
Governance weaknesses. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for investors, right? Because these things can be subtle. What exactly should we know about how Roblox is structured? How does it fundamentally impact shareholder influence?
Well, one key detail is the company reincorporating. They moved from Delaware to Nevada back in May 2025. Now, they framed it as strategic, but this seemingly, mundane legal thing, it's actually a pretty big deal. Nevada's corporate laws, they can make it harder for shareholders for you to actually challenge board decisions. They have these things called exclusive forum provisions. Basically means disputes have to be heard in a specific Nevada court, often seen as more company-friendly. Plus, there's the dual-class stock structure. The founder, David Basicki, holds way more voting power, concentrates control. Combine that with rules needing a 2/3 vote to remove directors and a jury trial waiver. It really weakens shareholder influence,
So, okay, we've got this layer cake of risk: legal, reputational, and now these governance concerns. With all that turbulence, it just begs the question, is the underlying business actually making money? Or is all this noise just obscuring maybe even deeper financial cracks?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? And yet, the financial picture is Complex. On one hand, really strong bookings growth, up 24% year over year, $4.37 billion in 2024. They project hitting $6.5 billion soon. Impressive engagement rate. But the company remains unprofitable, big time. Reported a net loss, $940.6 million in 2024, and losses are expected to widen in 2025, somewhere between, say, $995 million and $1.07 billion.
Wow, widening losses despite strong revenue. That's definitely a concern. But hang on, isn't heavy spending on R&D and creator payouts kind of standard for these platforms? You need to feed the beast, right? Is this genuinely a red flag or just, the cost of scaling?
That's a fair point. Yes, these costs are necessary for growth in a user-generated content world. You need new stuff, you need happy creators. But the sheer scale of the spending is significant. R&D was $385 million in just Q2 2024. Creator payouts jumped 52% year over year. So while it's essential spending, it really strains the margins. And it leads to skepticism about, okay, where's the actual clear path to making money? And then there's the debt. The company is highly leveraged. Debt to equity near 300%. Yeah. It's kind of like building this amazing digital castle, but on a foundation of borrowed money, hoping growth pays off before things get tight. Now, cash flows have improved because of revenue gains. They generated $942 million free cash flow over the last 12 months. But Invest notes the price to free cash flow ratio is pretty high. It's at 92. So you're paying a lot for that cash flow.
That definitely paints a complex financial picture, balancing growth investment against widening losses and all that debt. How does all this factor into the company's valuation right now? What are investors paying for?
The stock's valuation really reflects this tension. It trades at a forward price-to-sales ratio of about 5.99x. Now, according to the Motley Fool, that's way above the gaming industry average, which is more like 2.33x. So it suggests investors are paying a hefty premium. Betting on future growth that's still, well, unproven and maybe uncertain given all the risks we've talked about. There was one discounted cash flow analysis estimating an intrinsic value around $45.33, which indicates a pretty significant discount compared to its current market price, which has been hovering around, $115 to $118 lately?
Okay, so for an investor looking at Roblox today, considering all these layers, risk, financials, valuation pressure, what's the overall market sentiment? What are the analysts saying?
Well, the market is definitely showing caution. You see significant insider selling from executives. That can often be a sign of concern about the short term. And the fear and greed index, currently at 39, that's in the fear category, suggests a lack of strong conviction.
Okay, and for those who follow the charts closely, what does the technical analysis tell us right now?
Right, the technicals. Currently, the stock price is around $117.57. The 52-week range tells a story of volatility. $37.50 on the low end, $150.59 on the high end. Big swings. We're seeing pretty strong support levels near $110 and $100. Overhead resistance seems to be at $120, and then maybe $150 way up there. The 50-day moving average, that short-term trend indicator, is at $113.62, pretty close to where we are now. But the 200-day, the longer-term trend, much lower, $75.77. So that suggests a recent upward trend from earlier in the year has happened, but maybe it's hitting a wall now. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is around 43.38, kind of neutral, not overbought, not oversold. So what does all that mean? It suggests that while Roblox rallied recently, that momentum's hitting resistance. It's sort of stuck in this choppy neutral zone, a real battleground between buyers and sellers right now.
Mixed signals, technically, too. Despite all that, what's the overall consensus from the analysts who cover Roblox? Where do they land?
Analyst ratings are a bit varied, actually. They range from moderate buy all the way to strong buy. So there's still belief in the long-term growth story, but, an acknowledgement of these near-term risks. Price targets, they're all over the place. Some see it down at $38, others up at $125. The average is near $82.81.
Yeah.
But the consensus 12-month target, that's closer to $120, which interestingly is very near its current price. Doesn't imply much upside in the next year based on that average.
Right. So looking ahead, what are some of the key catalysts, things that could really move the stock, positively or negatively?
Well, short term, all eyes are on the next earnings release, July 31st, 2025. That'll be crucial, especially after the recent legal news. Investors will be watching that like a hawk. Also, any big announcements, new monetization plans, new developer tools, major partnerships, that could shift things. Long term, it's about platform expansion, new creator programs, international growth, and of course, any big regulatory changes affecting online platforms in general. Our sources, particularly Motley Fool, tend to suggest Roblox is probably better suited for long-term investment. Not so much for short-term trading, given the volatility. It really is a high-stakes gamble, isn't it? betting on this shift to immersive social gaming, betting on user-generated content. But it all hinges on management delivering growth and achieving profitability over time. They have taken steps, like age verification for some things, better content moderation. But is it enough? Enough to quell those regulatory and reputational fires? That remains to be seen.
Okay, so let's try and bring it all together. Roblox presents this truly fascinating, maybe even high-stakes dilemma for investors. On one side, yeah, clear leader in user-generated gaming, strong revenue growth, massive engaged ecosystem. But on the other side, it's battling significant compounding risks, regulatory, reputational governance issues, all while struggling with profitability and carrying this heavy debt load.
Exactly. And this really raises an important question for you, the listener. Given all these compounding factors, I mean, the serious child safety lawsuits, the international bans, the unique governance setup, the continued unprofitability, despite impressive bookings, what is your personal risk tolerance? How comfortable are you with a company that leads its field, but faces such substantial, maybe even existential headwinds? Consider how companies navigate this really delicate balance, fostering innovation, user engagement, while meeting these increasing demands from society, from regulators, for safety and responsibility in this digital age. It's a real tightrope walk. And Roblox's journey, it's going to be a fascinating case study in how companies try to survive and maybe thrive in this new landscape.